Hi there. In this video we'll be taking a look at a TAYNIU portable electric vehicle charger. Some of its key features are smart temperature control technology, so it keeps itself cool. For current modes you can set the charging current, dynamic display. On its display you can see really quickly state of charge and speed of charging, power of charging, and it has scheduled charging, which means you can delay the start of charge to take advantage if you have a plan where electricity is cheaper between certain hours. You can delay the charging to be done at that time. And as specs go for it, it works between 80 and 260 volts AC, frequency 50 or 60 Hz, and the current can be set to either 8, 10, 13 or 16 amps, maximum 3.5 kilowatts, no load plug and plug life, it's 10,000 times, quite a bit. Protection level IP66 for the box itself and IP55 for the coupler. It has leakage protection, over current protection, over voltage, under voltage, over temperature, low temperature, short circuit, lightning protection, over frequency protection and under frequency protection. I have no idea if there would be any more protections that you would want apart from these. And from lightning protection it's level D. Insulation resistance above 100 meg ohms. Standby power consumption below 3 watts, so quite efficient in standby. And it's made of flame retardant materials which satisfy the UL94V0 standard. Operating temperature between minus 30 degrees Celsius and plus 50 degrees Celsius, so more or less you can use it almost anywhere on Earth. Storage temperature, even wider temperature gap, obviously. And yeah, let's get into the box and see what we have. And we have a bit more info on a tiny sticker, so it's the EU plug version. And it's a Type 2 charger with 5 meters of cable. And company information of the manufacturer of this product. As you can see, quite well padded for transport. And it seems we have a bag in here, which is nice. When you keep it in your trunk or your frunk, depending on your car, you can put it in here. And the product itself, and that's about it. So let's take a quick look at what we have in the bag. I will open it and be back. Let me start with something that everybody loves. That was a satisfying feel. This is looking really nice. Cable itself is TPU. Big cable, beefy, but not overly stiff. We have here, from what I can see, a rubber cap for the connector itself. Nice feeling, ergonomic shape. I like how it feels in the hand. This will always be attached, as you can see here, so you cannot really lose it. Put it back in here for protection. And a bit of info right here for the fault codes on it. So feel free to read all of this info if you need it. Yes, a high voltage warning, that's kind of obvious. Removed the tiny strap that was holding it together, not cut, removed, so I can reuse it, because reusing should be a priority in my opinion over recycling. The weight of it, quite light. decent size, not overly bulky. Nice design. I really like how it looks. And now let's take a quick look at the manual. We have here the product introduction. Feel free to pause absolutely at any time. And for the screen, it shows us what's the 6 volts signal voltage ground line display. Okay, I had no idea. Nice. It actually shows you that it doesn't have earthing. Okay. Real-time charging power, average hourly charging degree, single cumulative charging time. Okay. That's quite cool. So it gives you plenty of information. Sorry, cannot really talk today. This white line all around, when it's working, actually it lights up. To be connected, okay. Blue flashing, charging in progress. Blue constant light, fully charged, stop charging, okay. Red light, a fault, and screen will display the code. Safety rules and how to use it. Avoid water contact when charging. Waterproof device and keep the charging on and socket dry. A bit more info on how to use it, maintenance and care. Fault codes again listed right here, but they are also on the unit, which is handy in case you lose this. You still have everything you need on there. The specifications exactly as we read them before. And if you want to see more info about the standard, right here. Work altitude below 2000 meters. Work altitude matters for the distances between electronic traces and components inside the product. This is why it's listed. It actually matters for all electrical cars. And it seems here we have, I think it's Brazilian BR, but I'm not going to go into that as I have no clue how to read it. So, next thing, I think we will be putting this in a bag and later we will be testing it to charge a car. A little thing that I might have glanced over, this has a 2-year warranty protection. Just noticed something, this has mounting holes, so basically if you want, you can install this in a somewhat permanent position inside your garage, for example. So this will be always plugged in on your wall and you only plug this into the car when you need it. Quite nice. Just realized that I can actually show you more even here on my workbench. So let's power this on. It's plugged in. It has a color display and it booted up. It's at idle, it shows us temperature and voltage, and it detected that we are connected into a grounded socket and it's green. And the green is actually much nicer than you see it on camera. In real life it's nicer. So long press to change the charging current, and you can set your variant. Let's see, we would like to charge at 8 amps. Now I long press again and it will get set in. And now it will charge at 8 amps and not more. If we want to set a delay, again long press and we can change the delay time. Actually only for the delay it seems we can change the hours. And if you want to set it, again long press and it's set, and you can see it's in delay mode and the green is blinking. So it will start in 8 hours from now, you see the countdown right here. Quite nice. Next, go to the car. And yes, just test it. As far as the charging current goes, it remembers your previous setting. The timer gets reset when you plug it and unplug it and replug it, but current remains your previous setting, so you can obviously change it from here to whatever you want. Nice. Just noticed something more about the bag. It's actually looking like a backpack with side elastic pockets, with front pocket with zipper, quite a big one, and when you close it up, it has two straps for your shoulders and they are actually adjustable. So this is not just a random bag, it can turn into a backpack or something like that. And we'll be testing the charger on a Dacia Spring. It has a 27 kilowatt-hour battery and it's 78% charged at the moment, and it's a bit windy, so sorry about that. Something else that I want to show you. TAYNIU told me this is quite a rugged unit and can withstand falls, and what I would expect somebody to do, basically drop it from the hand at about this height when you take it out of the trunk and you basically drop it. It doesn't care absolutely at all. And it's on, plugged in, and we are going to plug it into the car and see what happens. And it's into the car. Let's go see what we have on the display. And it's doing its thing. Amps are rising, so it's starting low and going up to see that everything is fine. It's charging. Voltage has dropped a little bit because the network in this area it's a bit weak, so under load the voltage goes down. Temperature quite normal. Here in kilowatts what we are putting now into the car, and in kilowatts hour the total charge that went through the unit into the car, and that will rise. So we were at 16.2 for a moment, now 14, and we'll let it do its thing. And being IP66, it can take direct water without any issues, and it's still going. And we are going to let it charge and be back in a while to see the temperature. And we got the perfect situation. We needed to disconnect it from the car because the pump was working in the garden, and total load on the whole house was about 35 amps, and that's a lot. So that will show us that by being able to set this at much lower, 0.8 amps for example, we will not have that problem anymore, which the original charger for this car could not do. And now we are limited 8.3 max, not going above that. Voltage now is good, it's not dropping anymore like it did before, and everything seems fine. Temperature still perfectly fine. We will let it charge for a bit more. Total charge we can see here on the new charging when we reconnected it now. And it has been going for 27 minutes on the second charge, where we lowered to 8 amps actually, not 0.8. First time I think it went for, I don't know, 15 minutes or something like that before the fuse started to trip. And the temperature 45 degrees. This shows a tiny bit more with 5 degrees more, but as you can see it shows more on this edge, which is in direct sun. So actually the sun is heating this up more than the internals inside of it. That's actually good. And car is now at 85% charge. Again, we started at 78. And we are limiting the current again, don't forget about that. It can charge twice as fast. Not really sure what I said before, but this is the instant power. Basically amps, which is here, amps times voltage. It's what we get here in kilowatts. And this is how much it went into the battery in this half an hour limited to this again because of the electrical network limits in this area. And just as an idea, this is the original charger that came with Dacia Spring. Doesn't allow you to set anything, doesn't have a time delay, you cannot change the current if you want to force it to be lower. It just adapts by itself to the network, but the fuse will still pop. It doesn't adapt quick enough, so yeah, this is much smarter, and I will leave it with my friend to use it to charge his car, and feel free to ask in the comments how he feels about it and how it performs over the months, the years to come. And again, because I was sitting in the sun, as you can see when I'm moving, temperature actually started to go down a little bit. So at 8 amps the sun is hitting this way more than the internals are actually hitting it, which is perfect. And car is now at 87%, and we will stop the testing because my friend doesn't like to charge the battery more than actually 80% most of the time. And that's actually quite good because it's a good thing for the battery to not do full cycles. It will get damaged in time and lose its capacity. And we will now unplug it, and this concludes our test. And that's about it. Thank you very much, TAYNIU, for sending this in. Even this huge ant is interested in it. Maybe it feels the electrical field coming from it or the heat, I don't know. This is performing exactly as expected, and it will replace the original one and give much more features. So that's perfect. Thank you again, and see you in the next video. Bye.